Welcome to FanTVnChill. We back. Obviously, COVID's over for now. So the lockdown and that. So we're back shooting in the studio. Hope you haven't missed us too much at that. All happy to be back. All smiles and that. Obviously, previous week with the lockdown restrictions and everything, we couldn't really shoot week 9. But we'll obviously go through the results. Liverpool beat Leicester. Arsenal drew with Leeds, and obviously we beat West Brom 1-0 at Old Trafford. And then obviously moving on to what is now week 9/week 10 game day results. Obviously we've got Brighton against Liverpool at Anfield. We've got Arsenal against Wolves at the Emirates, and then we've got Man United and Southampton at the Saints ground. So let's get straight to it. Obviously, you know how it goes. Liverpool at the moment sit top of the little table here. So straight over to Bilolo to review the Brighton versus Liverpool game.
Yeah, man. Top of the league, joint top of the league privilege, innit? I thought I'd just clarify that before I get paid and screaming.
What's that got to do with anything?
I'm just speaking.
You say privilege. You're the one. You're the one who's top out of all three of us, so...
But we joined top of the league, right? Same point
but you said about privilege. You're top anyway, far beyond us, so you're gonna talk first anyway.
What is your point?
There is no privilege. You're gonna talk first. I don't know what point you were making anyway.
Exactly. You don't know what point I'm making.
There was.
But anyway, like, I think Brighton are a good team, and especially if the midfield, we didn't have a strong enough midfield in the day, like versus a team that's actually quite composed on the ball. They had more openings, I should say, in the first half. Obviously, they got the pen, which was silly, like from Neco Williams. Obviously, you know what I mean, like just too eager. I don't even know what to make of the lad, to be honest. Like, I know he's there, probably just to make numbers, but. Like, he gave the pen. Like,
what are you talking of your youngsters last season?
I do, but if I don't see enough quality as well, I'd say.
But at the same time, you got to appreciate the guy. I think is this his first game into a senior team
no,
this
it's
season?
not. I've watched him enough. Yeah, but obviously he gave away the pen, and luckily for us, I think this Alisson presence. I know obviously their second friend they scored, but you get a feeling that. Like the player before, I said this with De Bruyne, because he's a big guy, so you're already having to think like if I'm gonna place it, I have to place it well, and I think whether that was the reason, but we got away with it. We didn't really create much. Salah had a chance, obviously offside VAR. It is what it is, isn't it? Like I think we can cry about it, but if he's offside, he's offside. And I can't even remember too much more after that. We score first in the second half. That man again, just Jota, great signing, having an amazing season, of course, and the goals, it was a quality goal as well. Like good play between, I can't remember, was it Robertson to like an inside. I think Robertson to maybe Salah to Jota, and then obviously he did the rest. Like clever run, composed, and then he just reversed it back to the first post. And yeah, like I thought after that you're thinking, yeah, it's not only Brighton, but bit more composure. You never know, you can get another goal and kill the game, but I don't think we had enough on the day. It is what it is, and I've just been more happy and amazed of my team, like despite like all the challenges that we've had so far this season, you know, they're doing extremely well, and you know, performances like that are forgiven. And and they got their second penalty of the game.
Do you think it was a penalty?
I watched it again, like just before this. I'll probably say there is contact in it. It's one of them.
I initially thought it wasn't a pen, and I initially thought it was meant to not happen. But then someone, I can't remember what's the match there. Someone put up a good point. I think the penalty that he got against West Ham was even softer than that, and a similar kind of thing that the Congolese. The Congolese brother that plays, he gives away a weaker pen than he gets it. So if you're gonna go on the VAR, I know obviously the referee didn't give it. If you're gonna go on the VAR, at least it could be consistent in that sense.
He's probably be a less of a penalty than Masuaku's, but there's contact. This is what it is. I think I'm not. Just accept VAR for what it
Are you
is.
saying it is? But
Whatever, innit? Like, just accept VAR for whatever stupid decision they want to make. We don't care.
Do you think it's penalties?
I thought it was a pen, yeah.
Mm.
I thought it was a pen.
Fine.
I'm looking at it even outside. It doesn't matter where it happens on the pitch.
Mm.
He makes contact with the player. Danny Welbeck tries to stay on his feet. He ends up going to the. I don't think Danny goes looking for it. I think he just falls over because of the contact that's been made.
Mm.
So I thought it was a penalty.
Mm. But outside of the box, I don't think that's being given as a foul. This is.
I'll say that again.
I would say outside the box, it's more likely to be
It's
given.
more likely to be given. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, is it
Outside the
foul?
box,
I
yeah.
think, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think so.
Because I'm just thinking like soft chat. And big shout out to Ronaldo though, because I think the guy is just massively underrated, and then they need to just give him another contract because. Not because he performed, not because
Then you want to go to Barcelona. You want to go to Barcelona.
You said that just you can leave.
I swear I was the one saying Ronaldo's a quality Liverpool player, and you were like, if he wants to go to Barcelona, he can go.
ask me why, then I'll give you an answer.
No, why?
Because I'm not just coming out with some wild statement. I have a reason because I said that. Because this is not because he performed well on the game. I have a reason for saying that. If I ever sat here and said,
why?
These guys, you're jumping here without even having any reasoning. The reason that I was okay for him to leave is because we've just signed Thiago Silva. And I'm like, we've got enough numbers in there that we can afford. Of all the midfielders, I
swear you said this before you started Thiago Silva. But
no.
We'll see.
So why would I say that when we low in numbers?
We'll see. I'll see.
Why would I say go to Barcelona? There's rumours about Ronaldo moving on to Barca. If he does, yeah, it's a loss. But I think it's someone who can definitely be replaced. And equally, Ronaldo can be there if he wants to go play with Messi. We wish him well, but that's a conversation for another day. But anyway, this is what it is. We drew the game. I think Brighton deserved to get something out of the game. So that's me. That's me done.
All right, cool. Moving on to Southampton versus Man United. You know, this game had my heart pounding. Half top, 2-0 down. I was just thinking, this is memories of last season. Going 2-0, winning a game, then going to the next game, and then just getting beat straight out. No, not even doing anything. La-di-da-di-da. So yeah, obviously the first half, I would say 20 to 30 minutes of the first half, I would say Southampton were really honest. It was what?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I thought you started well. I thought you started.
Okay. So yeah, so that first half, obviously the header, Southampton header, could that have been helped? You know what? I thought Southampton, they definitely worked on that, and obviously we can always do better. But it was an excellent set piece, and they scored a header. So defensively, somebody should be there, and we should get at the near post. That ball shouldn't end up in the back of the net. But it is what it is. We go 1-0 down, and we're away. With the way we've been and the players we've got on the pitch, I'm thinking, you know what? Still got a long way to go. We can easily equalise, and we can easily get another goal in the second half. So it's not too much of a problem. Then obviously we did have chances. Greenwood had a chance. There was two things with that Greenwood chance. He either hits the back of the net. To be fair, he does hit the target, but he hits it straight at the keeper. Or he should have tried to either slip it into Bruno or Rashford, and then one of them would have a chance. And obviously, it comes to Bruno. I'm thinking Bruno. Bruno should have scored. He should have scored. He should have definitely scored that chance. And you know what? When we're in games like that, and it's always, even with no fans, it's always a hard game when you're away at another side. So you've got to take chances. And we didn't take that chance. And obviously, they get a free kick. Excellent free kick. I thought, although it was an excellent free kick, I thought De Gea did not help himself with his positioning, because realistically,
from James Ward-Beckham's penalty.
Yeah,
from James Ward-Beckham's free kick.
from the free kick. No, I didn't think. I didn't.
Mine is Juninho.
He didn't help with himself. He didn't help himself with the positioning because the way I look at it is, he stands on one side. Cool. So that means this guy is only going to aim. He's a right-footed player. Realistically, he's only going to aim for one side. If De Gea positions himself a bit better on his line, it gives himself a better chance of getting to it. But it was an excellent free kick.
You don't think like that's the whole point of the wall. Like the wall is normally there to say, okay, if he's gonna beat you guys, he has to be very good.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what he did. Like is that the wall? Come on, man, that free kick was just like.
No, it was good. Obviously, I think James Ward-Prowse takes a lot of corners, free kicks for Southampton, and he's quite good on them. So I'm pretty sure David De Gea was expecting him to have a shot on goal. But nonetheless, it was quality free kick. Bit harsh on De Gea really, but so we come back second half. Cavani's brought on. He should have started anyway. Great decision from Ollie, and he done it like sometimes as a manager, and I think sometimes a lot of managers they're not brave enough to do this. If things are not working in that first half and you can see it, make changes. Like sometimes players are not going to be on it, and sometimes they're not going to say, or they're not. What?
Sorry to interrupt you. What do you think? Maybe he didn't start Cavani because of fitness. Because I don't know what his fitness. You watched.
No, I don't think because
fit, yeah?
I thought which game. The last game he played, I don't think it was that. I think he wanted to give Greenwood a chance of starting. I think Cavani's fit to play. So obviously Cavani comes on second half. Look, we come out and straight away we're on it. We want to get back into the game. And obviously one of the first things he does is assist. Obviously Bruno Fernandes comes out, ball comes out to Cavani, passes it to Bruno. Given too much time in the box, and then it's obviously he gets our goal, so we're back in. Bruno, excellent finish, and then from that point we're 2-1, and I'm thinking, you know what, we can do something here. We can.
As soon as you got the first one, you do the game's swinging now.
Yeah, there was still time. There was still time for us to, like, definitely get a point, get a 3 points. What's the push? But get a point definitely, and then obviously we come back. We're still going at Southampton, and then obviously we get the equaliser, and then we're 2-2. Obviously Cavani, I think going forward, I think he definitely needs to start in that starting lineup, to be honest. But to be honest, after his 2 finishes in that game, he looks fit. He works hard around the pitch. And I think he could make a difference up there. So we're 2-2, and at that point I'm thinking, fuck. Looking back at last season, what we would have been doing, it would have been shaky, and would have been thinking, you know what, let's just get the point and get out of there, because otherwise we're either going to concede a goal and lose the 3 points. But luckily, the mentality was, you know what, we've got back into the game. Why not? Let's go try and win it. And we kept going, got a free kick, made the chance. Like I say, with Cavani, he's such an experienced striker, and if he can get 1, 2, 3 chances here and there, even if it's half a chance, he's more than likely to at least hit the target and work the goalkeeper. And even with that header, he's a tall guy, and that when I think Bruno took the free kick, when the ball comes, it's quite low down. So he actually done very well, like to adjust his head and then guide it onto the target. And then
he knows what to do in the box.
Yeah. And at that point, obviously at that point, 3-2, ecstatic, 3 points, fucking fantastic. Going forward. Cavani, got to start in the team. But overall, great fight back. That's like the Man United team of old, when we would have gone 2-0 down, 3-0 down. We would have at least had a good fight back and pounded the hell out of the goalkeeper and the team. So we definitely dominated the second half, and as a result, we definitely deserved to get the 3 points. So well done. On to the next game, and obviously well done, Ollie, for making the substitution needed at half-time as well. On to the next game.
So the last game of the weekend, Arsenal, we was at home to Wolves. Going into the game, I think I we didn't preview last week because obviously, like we said, due to COVID. But I went into the game thinking that this is.
Did you win last week?
No, we drew.
No, I was a bit lost because I think Arsenal just won a mad one. Who did you play last week?
We drew.
Oh, you got away with it. That was a lucky escape from real. Wow.
We lost 10 men. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So yeah, so obviously, I think this is one of them games where we need to come. This is my initial thoughts. This is one of them games where we need to kind of like try to get the 3 points from obviously Wolves. If we're being honest, as a team in and around us, and obviously a team that are actually a good side. Obviously, they're well drilled and well coached. So yeah, we're going to the game. Obviously, obviously Pepe was out from the send off from the week before. I noticed that Arteta started with a different kind of formation, and I think I've previously said in regards to I'm not too sure if I've said. I think I've said where when we play. I think it was in the Leicester home game where we play instead of having the usual three centre backs and the wing backs, we go with a 4-2-3-1, and obviously the way the clientele that we have, it doesn't equate to chances being created and obviously controlling games. I've said before, and I think I've said it in regards to Manchester United, that we're similar in that sense where, and I think I said in the Leicester game also, when we're having to then dictate the pace of a game, we just haven't got the clientele to do that. And in regards to the players at the top, we just don't have the creativity, the individual creativity, should I say, for those players at the top to create chances. They're then starved of chances created because they don't have that creative person behind. I'm not going to sit here and say that I want Ozil back, because I don't. I'm actually I'm actually in agreement to Arteta to not bring back Ozil or players. Or the reason why, because I feel like he's had his chance. And also, this is a process that we're obviously going through, that we need to stick to this kind of process.
What else can he bring? Like, surely if you haven't played football for however long he hasn't played,
exactly.
Like,
but
yeah, you might as well, you know what I mean, retire or go somewhere else. Like,
obviously, 5 minutes into the game, there was a serious head injury from Raul Jimenez. I think it was defending a corner, and I think David Luiz comes into the back of it with his head, and then that delayed the game. Obviously, condolences go out to him. I think he had surgery on his skull or something like that today.
He has a fracture skull. Big injury, but
obviously we didn't carry on from the game. Obviously, it goes into the David Luiz. He obviously had a laceration on his head, and obviously when our physio team then passed him to carry on. I'm not going to say that they shouldn't have done that, because obviously they're the professionals and I'm not. I just feel like some of our players seemed a bit lost under the new formation, which is similar to how I felt we looked when we played against Leicester at home. Yeah, so, and obviously get a couple of chances. Are you okay? Get a couple of chances. Wolves get a couple of chances. Obviously, they end up scoring from that Neto. I think I can't really remember. I think it was a strike, which was rebounded off, and then obviously Neto then puts in the rebound, and obviously then 1-0. A couple of minutes after that, we get the perfect response.
I was pissed. At that point.
We get a perfect response from Gabriel, with a great header from a corner. I think it came from Gabriel with a great header. But obviously, Gabriel's one of the only kind of shining lights that we're having so far in regards to how he's playing. Obviously, he was our best player on the day. We get the equaliser, but then obviously it then puts the game in the balance, and then we then have to you feel like certain instances in games will spur on players, but we just don't seem to be spurred, because then after that, then Wolves then continued with their control of the game, and obviously they got the deserved second goal, which was a good goal, to be fair. The way that Prudence obviously just flicks it over the guy's leg and then slots it home. I thought it was obviously it was against my team, but it was actually a good goal.
Where is this Prudence guy from? Is he Portuguese?
Portuguese. So we go into half time. Obviously, at that point, like I've said before, I think I've said in the Leicester game, obviously you expect. I'm assuming that obviously Arteta is then getting the boys in to get them to spur up for obviously a big second half. I'm not going to lie, obviously, in regards to the second half, we did create a few chances in the second half. Not a few chances, we did create some chances, I say, in the second half. But again, it just goes back to what I said at the start. The thing is that in regards to us being able to control the game and create chances, we're kind of lacking. So we can then, because the Wolves then relinquished the domination they had and kind of sat backish to try and kick us on the break, but then we just then didn't have the creativity to break them down. So then it was hard. We're then obviously trying to break down backs of fours, and obviously we find it hard to struggle in normal times to be able to break down a team that's obviously stringent.
Then you got man like Traore. Like thinking any moment now, Traore could be heading this way. Jeez.
But yeah, so
that guy.
One summary of the game is obviously it's hard to even say because obviously like Aubameyang is non-existent. He was non-existent in that game. To be fair, our best attacker I'll probably say was Willian, and he got brought off in 65th minute. I just don't know. I just don't know. I feel as if Arteta needs to go back to what he was doing beforehand, because if he doesn't, if he keeps on trying to experiment with this 4-2-3-1 formation, then we're going to kind of get unstuck in these kind of games, because especially if you're going to these, especially if you're going to do these kind of formations against teams that are similar fitted to us, it's easier to do these kind of formations if you're going against a team that's a lot weaker than you, because then obviously you ultimately got better players than you could.
Not even similar, but like teams that have an ethos and they have a plan from days, like you can't risk it, man.
It's hard to do that. So we just have to see from the weeks going forward what we're going to go ahead, because obviously our next game, obviously it's a North London derby. So we'll see what happens from that, obviously. But obviously, we're just clapping about big game. Obviously, Tottenham in a lot of form. But when it comes to North London derby in years gone by and stuff, form doesn't actually equate to results in those kind of.
Someone tickled me. Like we were gassing up Spurs after the City game, and then he goes, take away Kane and Son, yeah, they're Burnley. I was like, that was a bit rude, but nah, there's more to them than that, and I think they're probably gonna crash you, man. That's a conversation for another day.
Yeah, so obviously, so special mentions.
That was a good loss, as he normally says, isn't it?
The special mentions this week goes to it's a clear win. Obviously, goes to Fulham beating Leicester away. Obviously, you guys can think of anyone else.
Leicester was so poor. I was watching the game on Grandad's. They were terrible today. What else?
I'd give it to Fulham. That was a big win. That was a surprise win.
There's no one else. The only other team that did something that you probably wouldn't expect, but it's nowhere near them, is probably Newcastle beat Crystal Palace away.
Yeah,
but that's nothing.
Fulham. Big up Fulham.
West Brom won against Sheffield United home. Sheffield United not playing well this season.
But anyway. On to next week's fixtures, of course. Thank you for tuning in, as always. And as always, please share, subscribe and like. And if you, as usual, if you feel any one of us talking shit, please leave comments in the sections in the either Instagram or YouTube. Let us know what you think. Until next week, over and out.